Back when Ben Martin got the EC Glass job, I was over at the foyer over at EC Glass High School to talk to the new head coach of EC Glass. We'll get his thoughts on his team this year in the upcoming weeks, but here's Ben Martin when he got hired by EC Glass on the Sports Buffet podcast. Ben Martin, new head coach at EC Glass, dressed appropriately, blue shirt, kind of a dogwood district feel yesterday for the Seminole. We'll get into that in a minute. What made this job attractive?
Well, I think being in the Seminole alone made an attractive job. The Seminole district is one of the toughest districts in the state, and I was proud to be a part of it when I was at Amherst for 4 years, and just wanted to kind of get back into it, and nothing could be better than EC Glass football. I mean, with the tradition that it's had in the past, and it may not have been there in the last several years, but that's what, as a head coach, you love those challenges to try and get it back to that point.
At all, does it feel a little weird because back when you played a Heritage guy, if I'm not mistaken, now EC Glass guy, weird at all?
Well, a little bit. I've gotten calls from several of the guys that I graduated with at Heritage, and they've said, congratulations, but we would rather see you at Heritage, that type of thing. But I think this was the right fit for me out of the two jobs, and I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Talk a little bit about what you want to do here, immediately.
I want to hit the ground running and try and get involved as much as possible, as soon as possible. I think you've got to get the weight room program going and try and get those kids involved in it after school. Really just trying to learn the kids and learn the talent that you have. And through that, working in the 7-on-7s, and now with the new rules, we can get out and work on some things and be further ahead than if we started in August.
Obviously, you can pick your coaching staff to a degree. You can't just, fire people and hire people in the building. But what are your qualities you're looking for in a coach?
Well, I think first and foremost, somebody that is loyal, somebody that's energetic and enthusiastic, and wants to coach football and put the time in for football. Because this is not going to change overnight. It's going to take a lot of hard work to get it going in the right direction.
It's not going to change overnight, but at the same time, do you feel like you have to win right away to kind of get the city support behind you a little bit?
Well, I'm sure that a lot of people would like to see it win right away. It's really hard to tell how good of a football team at this point, not really knowing the kids and not knowing the background and where they are at this point. But we're going to have high expectations for the players, for the coaches, and for the program. And how that produces wins and losses is yet to see.
Talk about the challenges of, you're an option guy and a 3-5 guy. Talk about the challenges of making the kids fit your system rather than, fitting your system to the kids, if that makes sense.
Well, you get certain athletes that come through and you have certain strengths that you're going to tweak as a head coach to those strengths. But, I think the triple option offense of what we've been able to do at Amherst and Appomattox fits the EC Glass kids very well. I think there's a lot of athletes that can fill right into that type of offense. Now, as far as where you're running and throwing the football, it just depends on the personnel that you have. The 3-5 defense, it's always been an aggressive defense that tries to put speed out on the field, and typically, knowing EC Glass football, that's what they've had.
You talked about being in the Seminole and spent some time, so obviously you know the way some people are going to do things, and even though with Heritage now, you know the way Brad Bradley does things. How much does familiarity help out?
Well, I had the privilege to coach against Brad for a year, coached against him also when I was at Alta Vista for a while. But I'm very familiar with most of the coaches in the Seminole District, and it's not going to be something that's a surprise.
Give me, in closing, 2 or 3 final goals that you want to get done.
Well, I think you come in wanting to be successful, and you want to see that success right away. And we've always kind of said to the kids that the goal is to be, district. That there's certain steps that you want to take, and that's district champs and region and then state. And I think you take baby steps towards that, and hopefully progress to that each year.
And being a Lynchburg guy, gas prices are high these days. It's got to be nice on the commute to not have to go 30, 40 miles.
Well, it is, and that's one of those things where this is a move. Not only is it a great job, but it's also a move that's best for my family. It cuts my drive in half, and it makes me closer to home. So, and they can be more involved in the program.
Coach, congratulations. We'll talk to you throughout the football season.
Thank you, Bob.
Ben Martin on the Sports Buffet.